Welcome to CAN, Caribbean Affiliate News. My name is Siobhan Gobin. Here are the stories that we're following today, September 11th, 2013. In Jamaica, Bunting blames gang feuds for murder spike. Also in Jamaica, a 16-year-old boy is charged in Tassaneque's murder. Judgment nearing in Shanique Myrie case. And in the Dominican Republic, pastor urges the Prime Minister to reverse presidential nominee decision. Details on these headlines and more when we return.
Hey, excuse me, if you see me smiling, that's 'cause I'm chilling on Total Caribbean Network. This your boy Wyclef Jean, man, and I'm chillin', man. Total Caribbean Network. Man, I love their style. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Welcome back to CAN, Caribbean Affiliate News. My name is Siobhan Gobin. This segment of the news is sponsored by Total Caribbean Network. Peter Bunting yesterday said a general increase in the number of inter- and intra-gang conflicts is among several reasons for the spike in murders, which have made for an unusually bloody summer with an average 4 murders per day for the period June 30th to August 31st. In a statement to the House of Representatives yesterday, the National Security Minister said analysis of the murder attribution statistics shows that the largest increase in homicides during the period falls within the category murders in the course of robbery. And I quote, "There were 90 murders in this category for the spike period in 2013 versus 41 in 2012. This may suggest that more hardened gunmen or gang members are diversifying into robbery as other sources of illicit income, such as extortion or lottery scamming, are squeezed," Bunting said. In noting that a general increase in the number of inter- and intra-gang conflicts is also thought to be a factor, he said the National Intelligence Bureau is monitoring approximately 50 of these situations currently. He said contributing factors to these increased conflicts include a predicted increase in the trafficking of drugs and guns due to a so-called balloon effect caused by the fact that as the war on drugs heats up in the Central America, more cocaine traffic is starting to return to the historical Caribbean roots. Bunting said cocaine seizures by the Jamaica Constabulary Force, which can be used as one indicator of total cocaine traffic, have more than doubled year to date, with 354 kilograms seized as against 152 kilograms last year. And I quote, "There has also been an increase in marijuana interdictions. Similarly, the police have seized 479 guns year to date compared to 397 for the similar period last year. The increased trafficking is likely fueling increased gang activity," Bunting added. Another reason for the spike, he said, was that in recent times, a number of alleged gang leaders have been released from custody for a variety of reasons. He says since their release, there has been an increase in murder in the areas where they have influence. The NIB indicates that this increase is a result of attempts by these leaders to reassert their authority and exact retribution on those who did not support them during incarceration. He also said the infamous lottery scamming continues to fuel murders by gangs, with there being 4 murders related to lottery scamming during the last week alone. In the meantime, he said that to combat the situation, the administration intends to accelerate the passage through the Parliament of the Criminal Justice, more commonly referred to as the Anti-Gang Bill. Detectives from the Major Investigation Task Force have charged a 16-year-old boy in connection with the August 1st shooting death of Tassaneque James in West Kingston. Tassaneque, 11, was shot dead by gunmen as she stood among a group of people in a yard on Bread Lane. 2 women were shot and injured in the attack. The Clan Carthy primary school student was laid to rest Sunday following a tearful ceremony at the Regent Street Seventh-day Adventist Church in downtown Kingston. Yesterday, the police said the boy was charged after being questioned. The boy went through a question and answer session with his attorney this morning, after which he was charged with murder. He is booked to appear in court at a later date, the police said in a release. The Caribbean Court of Justice will on October 4th hand down a judgment in the case involving Jamaican Shanique Myrie, who is claiming damages from the Barbadian government. Myrie accused Barbadian airport officials of subjecting her to a demeaning cavity search and verbal abuse when she landed at the Grantley Adams Airport in the Eastern Caribbean island in March 2011. Myrie also claimed she was detained in an unsanitary cell with another Jamaican woman before being deported to Jamaica the following day, despite not being found in contravention of any law. Lawyers representing Myrie are claiming $1 million in compensation for moral and punitive damages to their client, who they claim was discriminated against because of her nationality. The attorneys are also asking the CCJ outline firm guidelines pertaining to the treatment of Caribbean community nationals at airports throughout the 15-country grouping. Myrie has asked the CCJ to determine, under the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas, the minimum standard of treatment applicable to Caribbean community citizens moving within the region. She claimed that the treatment she received at the hands of the Barbadian officials ran contrary to her rights outlined under the treaty and obtained permission from the government of Jamaica to approach the CCJ directly on the matter. The ruling will be handed down via video conferencing as the court is headquartered in the Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Myrie and her lawyers will hear the reserved judgment in Kingston, Jamaica, while the Barbadian government will be informed of the court's ruling in that country simultaneously. The court held a historic sitting at the Jamaica Conference Center in Kingston in March of this year before moving on to Bridgetown, Barbados to hear the evidence of Barbadian witnesses. In the Dominican Republic, the pastor of the Trinity Baptist Church in Roseau has called on Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit to rethink and reverse his nomination of Speaker of the House of Assembly, Alex Boyd Knight, as the 8th President of Dominica. Mr. Rodney, during his weekly radio program, noted his disagreement with the Prime Minister's decision based on an incident involving Mrs. Boyd Knight in 2000. In brief, he explained that a crusade was being held at a school in Trafalgar, where evangelist Peter R. Augustine was preaching. Mrs. Alex Boyd Knight, who lives in Trafalgar and was the Speaker of the House of Assembly at the time, sought police assistance to halt the crusade because she claimed it was preventing her from recording a cooking program to be aired on Marpin. She communicated her annoyance at the noise from the crusade via letter to the then Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Education, Peter R. Augustine, and the Dominica Association of Evangelical Churches, among others. Mr. Rodney explained that as Secretary of the Dominica Association of Evangelical Churches, he wrote 2 letters, one in response to Mrs. Boyd Knight and a second letter to the members of Parliament asking of them at that time to remove Mrs. Boyd Knight as Speaker of the House of Assembly. While he noted that he does not represent the Evangelical Association, he appealed to the Prime Minister to rethink the decision on behalf of all evangelicals on island. And I quote, "I'm saying on their behalf, Mrs. Skerrit, that Mrs. Knight must not be the President of the Commonwealth of Dominica. Why? Because a president must be the person who will attend all our crusades, all our services when we invite them. They must be the people bringing religion together, bringing people together. They must at least seem to have a semblance of togetherness, peace, justice in a country like ours." End of quote. He also noted his intention to formally write to the Prime Minister cognizant of the fact that he probably does not have any powers at all, but "I need to let you know how we feel as far as that appointment is concerned," he says. Mr. Rodney noted that any nomination for whatever position reflects an individual's thoughts, ideas, and direction. Hence, the nomination is not just a reflection on the person being nominated, it's also a reflection of the person nominating. You're watching Caribbean Affiliate News. We will be right back.
announced Sign and Drive with zero out-of-pocket and low monthly payments. Cars been flying out of Bronx Honda at a record pace. Whoa! New Accord with zero out-of-pocket for $249 a month, or new Civics just $199 per month, or save thousands with 0% financing. You never have to leave the Bronx to get the best price on the Honda. Bronx Honda guarantees the lowest price in the Bronx. Bronx Honda, East Tremont Avenue. Visit BronxHonda.com.